Hello, my name is Mee Keynite. I am a professor at the Chinese University of Hong Kong. I'm the Vice Chairman of the Department of Geography and Resource Management and Director of the Urban Studies Program. I'm also an Associate Director of the Institute of Future Cities, where I run the Center for Community and Place Governance. So I would like to welcome you to the 4th International Conference of Contemporary Affairs in Architecture and Urbanism. So while I look forward to learning from you all, I will also share in my keynote speech a topic related to urbanism. I will talk about people's rights to the development of space and place in our cities. Why is this important? It is because this will directly affect our physical, emotional, psychological, and social well-being. So I hope you will enjoy the conference, and may I wish the conference every success. Right, today I'm going to talk about people's right to spatial development for multifaceted well-being. It's very important for us to have the right to shape the space, that shapes us. As David Harvey argues, people's right to spatial development is the right to change ourselves by changing the city. So a right to shape spatial development is important because space enables our multifaceted well-being. And doing this will also shape our shared human dignity. So what is this human dignity? It's very important. It's the absolute inner world of a person. It's an ability for us, recognizing that each of us can think conceptually, we can deliberate, we can discuss, and we can make free choices. It's a natural ability to shape our own lives. Right? So dignity is the moral basis of our shared humanity. Now, for full moral respect of human dignity, we need to do this. If we understand that shaping spaces will enable our multifaceted well-being, right? So if we understand this, so we need to also make ourselves, responsible, to be responsible for other people's dignity. So that means we have to take actions, although we may be limited by our time, by our resources, or by competing moral demand. We have this, responsibility to have to shape the space so that other people can flourish as well, so that they can also develop their best, potential. So in other words, we do have this imperfect obligation to have the flourishing of others in order to realize our shared human dignity. So the right to spatial development, therefore, is the right to live a flourishing life with dignity, and you and I have the right and also the responsibility to shape spaces so that we can all achieve this multifaceted well-being. So this multifaceted well-being is equivalent to human flourishing, and this well-being, according to the World Health Organization, health is not just about, no disease or no infirmity. Health is actually a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. All right, and this is our fundamental rights. It's a fundamental human rights without any distinction of race, religion, political belief, economic, and social condition. So I want to introduce this settlement health map. It helps us to appreciate that we all live, among ourselves in our local community, which is embedded within the bigger built environment and the natural environment, and also the global, situation. And there are different types of well-being that we need to pay attention to, like physical well-being, emotional well-being, psychological well-being, and social well-being. And for physical well-being, we understand, that we need to eat well, we need to sleep well, we need to do exercises. And how can we encourage people to do more exercises? Then we need to shape our spaces into more active spaces, like, a lot of sidewalks, improving the walkability of the place. It's also very important when we build our recreational spaces. It's going to be inclusive, that people can enjoy it with their various kinds of abilities. Another kind of well-being is what we call emotional well-being. Now, emotional well-being sometimes has to do with our human biology. Some people are born happier, cheerful. Other people seems to be more, pessimistic. But if we provide a nicer environment, it will nevertheless, boost people's feeling of the place and make them happier. So this concept of biophilia, this like our affinity to nature. So the building of green settings is very important because green settings have the capacity to alleviate our mental fatigue and also restore our capacity to pay attention. So some places draw people together, and that, when they come together, they will have abilities to develop their ties and social capital. Also, places that encourage physical activity can very effectively prevent and treat depression. So settings like these just make you feel very calm, recharge your energy. Another kind of well-being is what we call psychological well-being. It has to do with our relationship with others. If we have positive relationship with others, that we can master the environment and being autonomous, we will accept ourselves more and find purpose in life and also have personal growth. Like Professor Kawachi and his colleagues argue that social capital actually affects our health, our well-being, because through the exchange of network-based resources, such as social support, collective actions in the built environment that will provide opportunities for us to interact and also promote investment in a shared space. So like in spaces like this, people come together with different abilities. They can actually feel like more mastery of the environment. They can develop positive relationships and experience growth together. Okay, and then the social well-being is also very important. So the emotional and the psychological well-beings are about the person, but if people experience that kind of connection with people and connection with the environment, they will actually they together will promote social well-being. They will accept one another. They can actualize their potentials. They can contribute to society, and they can be sort of more integrated with, the bigger community. Like Professor Hugh Barton argued that social inclusion is critical for health, and it's related to place qualities or place inequity. So accessible, inclusive transportation, affordable housing, safe neighborhoods, these are very important ingredients in spatial development, and these will also play a very crucial role in shaping social inclusion. So therefore, health. So location, urban form, environmental characteristics are very important for good or ill. Professor Creswell said, place is a kind of necessary social construction, something that we have to construct in order to be human, right? So this is our human dignity, that we come together and we construct this space, and we hope when we construct this space, it's going to promote multifaceted well-being, it's going to flourish everyone. That is, facilitating our shared humanity. As Professor Barton argues, that there is no longer any doubt that spatial planning has a critical role to play in promoting health and well-being. Now, what are the implications when we shape spaces? So this right to physical well-being means that for architects, for planners, we have to create place qualities that will promote physical well-being. We need to create places for emotional and also psychological and social well-being as well. Say, for example, allowing private spaces, right? You cannot really allow people to live in too cramped an area. we need to provide blue-green infrastructure so that people can satisfy their needs. They are drawn to this green environment because of our biophilia nature. And this blue-green infrastructure can also draw people together so that they can develop social capital. So these socio-pental spaces that allow people to come together is also very important for our, well-being. Complete neighborhoods, right? Allowing people to satisfy their needs within like 20 minutes neighborhood is very important. Or building streets which are not just for cars, but streets with pedestrians, with cycling, with trees, and with economic activities. These are very important to boost our social well-being. Or like building walkable neighborhoods with a lot of sitting out areas or even economic activities. Community farms also very important. Local markets, allowing economic activities, but at the same time also accumulation of social capital, or public spaces, public realm for play. They are very important. So I hope to conclude in this talk, you can realize the importance of our responsibility and our right to spatial development, because these will actually directly affect our multifaceted well-being. And when we shape the space, we need to provide, privacy spaces for people to retreat a little bit, even in the public domain. Very important for us to provide green spaces, biophilia spaces, biophilic design, bringing nature into our spaces. If you cannot do it, at least, bring something that simulates, nature in our design. That would also help. Or we should also provide a lot of socio-pental spaces so that people can come into one another, they can develop social ties, social capital, and make sure that all the spaces are going to be socially inclusive. That's what I want to share. Thank you.